Alright guys, so I got everything unboxed and unpackaged. Kind of just placed in the boat where I think I want it to go. First off, y'all check out this motor mount, man. This TFL fully adjustable motor mount. This thing's pretty nice. Most of the ones that like the OSE brand ones, you know, they've only got one screw there that the bulkhead pivots on. This has got two. That's pretty nice. Fully adjustable up and down. Importantly, it'll fit a 70 millimeter water jacket. So yeah, I like that. That's a nice motor mount. Pretty nice. And I think this is where I'm going to run the ESC. I'm going to do something here with this bulkhead to get the wires coming through. Either pop a couple holes or a few holes in it, excuse me, and get the wires coming through to where it'll sit down flat. Yeah, maybe just 2 holes for the water cooling lines, and that'll shorten them wires enough to go to right there, kind of, sort of. Yep, still battery still going over here. Got my 35 kilogram servo, cheapo Amazon servo. Here's my Speedmaster large hydro strut, round bottom, unfortunately. Still gonna do something with that. So yeah, gonna start getting some parts on the boat and start getting some progress heading forward. So here's what the back end's gonna look like. I'm going to run the rudder about right there. I am going to go with this center mounted rudder. Yeah, it'll be fine. Be fine. So then our strut, y'all don't talk too much shit about my repair. Strut will be about right there. And so my pickup from the rudder will go to this cooling inlet. And then I'm going to do another bracket on this side, cover that nasty crap up, and do some sort of blast pickup to feed into this inlet. So I'm gonna get these things mounted up, and next time you see the boat, we'll have these mounted up. Push rod, we'll have this flip back over to this side and have our push rod through hole in, and hopefully, you know, all connected to the servo. Have the servo mounted, and maybe we'll get to mounting that motor mount. Maybe I'll have that done too. Alright boys, I got a few things done. Got that strut mounted up, got the rudder mounted up, got the push rod installed. This is an old trick. Well, I don't know if it's a trick, but it's just something I've seen in all the boats, that all the old nitro boats I've seen. This is a 3 millimeter push rod material in a 5/32 brass tube. You know, super tight fit, and I've got it epoxied into the transom, and I'll put some sort of support in here once that cures up and I can take it back apart. I'll get a support in here to hold that, but yeah, it'll be nice and solid and stiff as hell, and man, that'll be awesome. One thing about setting up this rudder, first thing is I wanted to make sure that the push rod, when I want to make a right hand turn, the servo is pulling on the push rod, right? So that means I mounted the rudder over here so it can pull to turn right. That way there's no, it's just the strongest that way, instead of having to push. And yeah, it's just a strong way of doing it. And another thing for having this rudder on the left hand side of the drive is, in my theory, when you want to make a right hand turn and your rudder's kicked to the right, all that prop wash, that thrust cone, is coming back and hitting the side of the prop that's gonna, or the side of the rudder that's gonna turn the boat. See, if the rudder was on this side and it kicks right, there's no prop wash hitting that rudder. So you're gonna get a way better right hand turn, way more responsive right hand turn with the rudder on this side, in my opinion. And along with the pulling to make a right hand turn, good to go. So hell yeah, that'll be good. I got a piece of silicone tubing just right there on the back. That'll make sure any water stays out. When I do take it apart and put it back together finalized, I'll oil up this push rod. That way there's oil inside the brass tubing as a water block. Yeah, so next thing to do is to cut a hole in the bottom of the boat, get the stuffing box put in. So when I do this stuffing tube, here's what I'm going to do. This is my 1/4 inch. Here's my 1/4 inch brass. This is 9/32. Oh, it's upside down, but it's 9/32, right? That fits right in there. Snug as a bug in a rug. All right. Oh, my bad. So the idea, this piece of tube is going to be the stuffing box. That's what they called it back in the day. It's going to be a solid mounted piece of tube, and that's what's going to go through this bulkhead underneath here that y'all can't see. There's a bulkhead under here. It's going to go through the bulkhead, through the bottom of the boat, and be epoxied in, and it's just going to be long enough to stick through the bottom of the hull. And this side just going to be cut off about right yonder, and the motor's going to be there. So once that's in, and that's just a straight piece of tube, and that's in there, then we'll take this and we'll slide it in, and we'll bend this on the outside, on the bottom side of the boat. So from here to right here, the 1/4 inch tube will be straight. Once it comes out of the boat, that's where it'll make the bend and go into the strut. The idea behind that is for one, it'll be stronger where it comes through the hole because it's doubled up brass tubing. And also, if you ever damage your stuffing tube, you can remove the stuffing tube without having to tear up the boat. You pretty much connect. You would drill like a little 1/16 inch hole in the outer tube, and then once it's slid into place, then you just put a little dab of solder on there, heat it up, dab it with some solder, and that holds it in place. It's like a little tack weld. So when you need to remove it, you just heat up that solder and then pull the stuffing tube out. Yep, that's another trick that I've seen in all the old nitro boats, and I don't know why I don't see a whole lot of people doing that, but I'm gonna do it on this one. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. So I just finished up the rudder install. I'm happy with it. Show y'all what I got going on here. I went with just the salt I had. Okay, so I had this back here before, last time y'all seen it, going through a flat that had a hole drilled through it, and I really wasn't too keen on using this just because it's kind of thin. Like I said, this is 3mm. Anyway, so I decided not to put a support on here, and it's kind of a free floating deal. Yeah, I'd say it's working pretty good. There's no kind of binding in it. If I put that support on there, it would hold that right there solid, you know, and it wouldn't. See how that's got that little bit of movement? So I'm kind of gonna just let it do that, kind of just be a floating push rod tube. It's epoxied back there. It's pretty solid. I don't think I'll have any problem with it. And if you did it, you shouldn't either. So that's what we're rolling with, and I'm fixing to get started on popping this hole through for the stuffing box. So that's where we'll get you on next. Alright fellas, I wanted to get y'all in here about midway of mocking up this stuffing tube. I just want to kind of show you what I got going on. So I got this blue pinstripe. I got it mounted, stuck to the top of the strut, so we know that's center. And down here at the front, I measured center and marked that. And so now my pinstripe, I know, is dead nut center all the way down the hole. So now I've got stuffing tube mocked up. Well, I'm working on mocking it up. I need to get it to drop down right there. It'll touch more to get that motor alignment lined up. Let me get y'all down and see if you can see what I'm talking about. Well, y'all, yeah, can you see that at all? Yeah, probably not. So yeah, I was just working on getting this motor alignment a lot closer. I need to get that stuffing tube to drop down probably another 3 or 4 millimeters. About, well, 2 or 3 millimeters will drop down probably the 4 that I need there. Yep, so that's the update right there. Getting ready to everything looks good actually. Let me get y'all down here. It's looking all right. Like I said before, this is actually the stuffing box. I still have the stuffing tube to get in there, but yep, I'm getting pretty close to mixing up some epoxy. It's looking pretty center. You get some paint scuffed back off, sanded back off, and get some West Systems G-Flex mixed up and put it to it. Alright boys, we're getting close now. Letting some epoxy set up here. Got the motor mount installed. Got the stuffing tube installed. Got this piece of carbon fiber cloth laid down and epoxied in place. Stiffen up that whole area a good bit for me. Yeah man, it's looking good. Looking good. I believe I'm going to wrap up the video, episode 2, with this one here. Need to get this ESC installed, figure out what I'm going to do with these wires to get them. I thought about having the ESC sitting right there, down inside. I don't really quite like that. I like it right there. So I'm probably going to do something with this bulkhead, maybe 3 holes through it to get the wires to come through the bulkhead, and probably shorten the wires up to where it's a nice clean deal there. Right on, coming right along. See what else I got to do. The ESC water lines, you see everything back here's done. What happened there? Yep. Everything here's done. Let's see, water lines, ESC exits, antenna through hole. I still need to pop a hole through my stuffing box to attach the stuffing box to the stuffing tube. Remember I did the 2-piece deal. So the stuffing box is basically a through hole for your stuffing tube, and it just allows you to remove the stuffing tube without having to damage the boat. That's all. Right on, that's that. Get y'all back around for episode 3. Episode 3, we ought to be pretty much ready for the water. If not, we will be. So, all right, y'all. RC anything RC, boat gang for life. Peace out.